Hi guys, welcome to our 4th episode in this 8-part series where I'm sharing with you some reasons for which I honestly believe that first, you should vote on the 7th of December, and secondly, your vote should be for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. And in this 4th episode, I want to talk about the cost of living and who is best to manage the cost of living. Sometimes around the world, things happen, cost of living goes up. But you're looking for who has the best track record and the best plans to deal with cost of living. And so today my presentation is in 2 parts. I'll talk first about the past records, and then I'll talk about the future plans. You see, the NDC and former President Mahama want to capitalize on some of the genuine challenges that the world is facing and Ghana is facing to, and hoodwink us to vote for him. But he has a worse performance when it comes to managing cost of living. And he also has no credible plans to solve today's cost of living. The MPP has demonstrated that we bring cost of living down whenever we assume office. And even when we are hit with crises that escalate cost of living, we quickly work to bring it down. And Bawumia additionally has clear plans to contain cost of living going forward. So let's start with the past evidence. One of the best ways to measure the cost of living is inflation. Inflation is the rate at which the prices of general goods and services increase. So if inflation is going up, you get the sense that the rate at which the prices of goods and services are increasing is going up. And that often translates into an increasing cost of living. So if you want to see who has been good at managing cost of living, check the inflationary graphs and check the trends. The trends, not just one blip or one number on the radar. So let me take you to the year 2012. Abayura Mills, nyane baby koyeno. Na enema bo efa kwan bi so kosoro afie no na enema bo ekosoro 8.8% ohanji chemu wotwe echiripon wotwe yede ma yewura Mahama just 1 year afterwards na enema bo start ekosoro 13.5% the first year, second year say 17%, third year 17.7%. Ehon na Ghana forecast say kopemwa a okoa IMF ombebo na usumu kakra 15.4%. na Ghana force into me baby tena yeto abama MPP no the first year yet inflation nema bo a na koso one yet so 15%, ebedu 11%. By the second year no ne ateso abedu 9%. By third year no kra na swati abedu 7.9%. a na nema emu start ejun kakra eno na yare betu wo kwemu a fiti 2020 no abc be 2022 no na finema bo asan efiase e cost rubium de ntia no so ba asa ne se obi an ko fa ne ma fi China ba se China ya to obi a manufacture ne ma wo ho sa bre na ya to China mu no ade ne mba bium te kakra na wo market no so ne boy den akosoro nkofo start wo mu ntokwai baby ani ye fango ne gas fango a na wo de ye petrol ne diesel gu car mu gas cylinder wo use ni ade no ntokwasi wo ho no bi produce bi te ne boy den kosoro e kan obi ne ma ne ma kosoro unyi ni afa phone na Google global cost of living crisis. I don't need to say it. The evidence from around the world will tell you that in the whole globe, or on the whole globe, cost of living has gone up because of the global supply chain challenges that came on the back of COVID. And as the world was recovering, then we were then hit with high fuel prices from the war in the Black Sea area, further escalating cost of living. So you'll find that between 2020 and 2022, cost of living 10.4, 12.6. It went as high as 54.1 in 2020. Not just in Ghana, but in many other parts of the world. In fact, in the UK, the government went to Parliament to cap energy prices because it was going too high. In the US, they introduced a new law they call the Inflation Reduction Act. That's the evidence that the cost of living problem was global and was hitting us too. In Ghana, we tightened monetary policy and we tried to invest more in some of the drivers of cost of living, such as food inflation and even non-food inflation. By 2023, again, we had demonstrated that we bring cost of living down. Cost of living had come down, inflation had come down to about 23.2%. By Q2 2024, we're down to about 22.8%. And though we've seen a marginal uptick, The target is that by the end of this year, we'll go down to about 15%. That is the evidence, the historical record, that this is a party, this is a group that is good when it comes to managing cost of living. Even when we are hit with crises, we work to quickly bring it down, as compared to former President Mohammed's days when there was no crisis and the cost of living just kept going through the roof. Now, my second argument is that going forward, look out for which of the candidates has a credible plan to contain cost of living. Electricity prices, transport fares, fuel prices, rent, taxes. If you listen to the NDC, essentially, they are seeking to capitalize on this genuine difficulty and saying that those prices are high, so vote out the NPP. But they don't have a credible plan to contain or to bring it down. When it comes to electricity prices, Bawumia has a clear plan. He says we need to introduce about 2,000 megawatts of solar power to contain and eventually reduce the cost of electricity. Why? Because solar power is powered by the sun. Today's thermal power is powered by diesel and HFO. So whenever diesel and HFO prices go up, electricity bills will eventually go up. Bawumia's plan is to add 2,000 megawatts of solar power to the national grid. And solar power powered by the sun doesn't require increases in energy prices moving forward. That's his first plan to contain electricity tariffs. What's the plan on the side of the NDC? Nothing. Transport fares. Here Bawumia say, transport fares are there back no kosro. And he say, petrol ni diesel bo kosro. GPRTU for umbeto transport fares mo. And into you use electronic buses. And now me no kasi yakra electronic buses abagana. NCB abehubi ewon krani Kumasi ni mpotem bebre. Yera Mahama be complaining about transport fares, but how idea bia utumana oni solution bia. Fuel prices. Bawumia says a component of the fuel price increase is the impact on the depreciation of the cedi. So we should try and move away from a scenario where we are chasing dollars to go and buy fuel, because when the currency depreciates, then the fuel prices even go further, in addition to the world market price. When he said it, there was hula baloo. He started a gold for oil program. Today, we've imported about $5 billion worth of crude oil, which didn't require us to use hard currency. We used gold, which we had bought in cedis to buy it. And it is helping to contain the cost of fuel price increases. Have you noticed that today BRICS, Brazil, Russia, South Africa, and some of the biggest countries in the world are adopting Bawumia's formula, that they want to move to use gold as a major commodity to purchase fuel and other matters? The NDC's answer is that the gold for oil program is opaque, and that if you vote for them, they'll come and investigate it. How does that contain or reduce fuel price increases? Rent. Bawumia has introduced the National Rental Assistance Scheme. The scheme pays the advance for beneficiaries, and then beneficiaries pay month by month. What's the NDC's answer? Nothing. The last time they tried Saglemi, you saw what happened. $200 million paid out for 5,000 homes, and they left only 1,506 uncompleted. We're now working on finishing them. You can't trust the NDC when it comes to accommodation and rental. And then finally, taxes. In 2017, the MPP reduced the tax handles in this country by eliminating about 17 taxes. Of course, as we went into difficulties from 2020, a number of new taxes were introduced to try and close the financial gap. Bawumia says if you vote for him, he's moving us to a flat tax rate. Therefore, all of these taxes that you see on your receipts will be collapsed into one VAT, that is input and output deductible. He's also changing import tariffs or import taxes into a flat rate, so that when you're importing an item, you have clarity that this item is only costing 20 Ghana cedis or 40 Ghana cedis or 1,000 Ghana cedis. If it's a container of specified items, we know the price. It doesn't change based on the currency depreciation for a particular day. And it will also be cedi based and pegged to rates in Togo. That ensures that imported inflation is contained. What is the NDC's alternative? Bawumia is also ensuring that now that we've got a national ID that is linked to the tax identification numbers, a lot more people can be brought into the tax basket and the tax burden can gradually be reduced. He's further reducing the total expenditure of the country by about 3% of GDP. What does that mean? That means that the taxes that he needed to fund those expenses, he no longer needs to take those taxes. And that's why he's saying that he can remove taxes like the e-levy and related taxes. So if you follow Bawumia's plan, there's a clear framework within which he can reduce the cost of living moving forward, in addition to our track record of having brought down the cost of living or inflation from 2017 to 2019, and even having brought it down since 2022 after inflation went through the roof as a result of the global cost of living crisis. What is the NDC's track record and what is the NDC's plan? We will struggle to give convincing answers. This December, let's choose the path of progress. To abamo bia obebua na se nemo no ye dimpo a wanya ideas bia odi besum. Nipo ukura sa ideas no. A friend of Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia.